braise is generally defined as cooking at a low temperature in a covered vessel. Usually, you would braise a larger cut or item, like a whole piece of brisket, as we showed you in the previous lesson. A stew, on the other hand, is generally when you use smaller cuts of meat completely covered in a liquid. And in this case, we have small cuts of meat, which I'm not actually going to season because of the mere fact that I want to retain the moisture inside of the meat. We're not going to take moisture out, we're going to put moisture in. So I'm going to go ahead and take this chuck, right, which is from the shoulder, and they're small cuts of meat, not large cuts of meats, because we're going to do a completely different cooking technique. Previous lesson, you got the whole, like, braising aspect. This isn't braising, not to be confused with braising. This is stewing, right? So here we have our small cuts of meat, our small chuck, right? Got the beef right there, and then we're going to go ahead and add our veggies, right? And in this case, we've got some onions, we've got some carrots, we've got some thyme, basically kind of like classic ingredients. These vegetables are not only going to go into the marinade, but they're also going to be in the finished cooking process. They're going to be in our stew, if you will. That's why you call it stewing, right? So I'm going to cut them into nice, large, manageable sized pieces that are going to retain their integrity and end up being not only a garnish, but a beautiful, delicious component of the finished dish. So we've got onions, nice largely diced. I kind of like cut them into sixths. Take my carrots, go ahead and cut off the tips. And then also the carrots are going to be cut into nice, large, manageable pieces that when they're braised, they're not going to lose their shape or their integrity. They're actually going to kind of like retain a little bit of texture, a little bit of flavoring, but the entire thing is to be extracted through the marinating process. A little bit of garlic. Just going to crack that real quick. Add that to the beef bourguignon marinade. Everything's going up in here. Carrots, onions, everything goes in together.